The Amityville Horror, the house that the devil claimed. On a cold November morning in 1974, the small town of Amityville, New York, awoke to a horrifying headline. Ronald DeFeo Jr., a 23-year-old man, had done the unthinkable. In the middle of the night, he quietly got out of bed, picked up a rifle, and walked room to room, shooting his parents and 4 younger siblings while they slept. No one fought back. No one screamed. It was as if something had paralyzed them or kept them silent. In the morning, Ronald walked into a local bar, sat down at the counter, and calmly said, "I think someone killed my family." But he already knew the truth. He was the killer. And when asked why he did it, he simply said, "The voices told me to." That is where the real story begins. A year later, the house went up for sale. It was big, beautiful, and oddly cheap for its size. 3 floors, 5 bedrooms, a boat dock, and a stunning view of the canal behind it. George and Kathy Lutz, a newlywed couple, thought it was perfect. They moved in with Kathy's 3 children from a previous marriage, full of hope for a fresh start. They knew about the murders. Everyone in town did. But they thought, time heals all wounds. They didn't know that something else was waiting inside. On the very first day, they invited a priest to bless the home. As he walked through the house, he paused at one of the upstairs rooms. His face went pale. He heard a voice behind him, cold and deep, whisper, "Get out." He didn't finish the blessing. He left and never came back. That night, George woke up at exactly 3:15 a.m. He didn't know yet that that was the exact time the murders had happened a year earlier. He kept waking up at the same time, night after night, standing by the window, staring into the darkness. Meanwhile, Kathy began to have terrifying dreams of a disfigured woman staring at her from the foot of the bed. She'd wake up with red scratches on her arms as if someone had gripped her tightly during the night. The children became withdrawn. The youngest boy started talking to an imaginary friend named Jody. But Jody wasn't just a friend. According to him, Jody had glowing red eyes and would watch him from outside his window at night. The house itself began to breathe. A foul smell filled the air, no matter how often they cleaned. Doors slammed by themselves. Cold spots appeared in rooms with working heaters. And the family began to hear whispers from inside the walls. George became obsessed with the fireplace. He couldn't stop chopping wood. He was always cold. He began to look hollow. One day, while cleaning the basement, he discovered a small hidden room behind a shelf, a room not listed on the floor plan. It had no windows. It was painted entirely red. They called it the Red Room. Things got worse. Furniture moved on its own. The crucifix on the wall would flip upside down. Green slime began to ooze from the walls, and mirrors reflected faces that didn't belong to anyone in the house. George started hearing a voice, not his own thoughts, a voice that said, "Kill them? Set them free." One night, George awoke to find Kathy levitating above the bed. Her eyes rolled back, her body shaking violently, and her voice wasn't hers. She spoke in a strange language. Her skin turned ice cold, and then she collapsed. The next night, their youngest child whispered, "Jody says we won't wake up tomorrow." At exactly 3:15 a.m., the nightmare peaked. The walls began to shake. Windows shattered on their own. Doors slammed open and shut, and standing at the end of the hallway was something not human. It had the body of a man, but the face of a beast, eyes glowing red, watching them. George didn't wait. He grabbed Kathy and the kids, and they ran out into the cold, barefoot, in the rain. They left everything behind, and they never came back. They later described what happened to reporters, priests, paranormal investigators, and even the police. They refused to even return to the house to collect their belongings. Their story became national news, and soon, two of America's most famous demonologists, Ed and Lorraine Warren, came to investigate. Lorraine Warren later said, "This house is a doorway to something evil, something truly terrifying." The house still exists today. It's been renovated, renumbered, painted, but locals say they still avoid walking near it at night. Lights flicker inside, even when no one's home, and no one ever stays long. Was it all just a hoax, a marketing trick? Or is there truly something in that house that doesn't want to leave? One thing's for sure. Everyone who walked into the Amityville house never came out the same. If you want more stories, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. He was with you, Bruce, the father of dragons.